What I'm going to do today is take a look at some trees, identify at least hardwood versus softwood, coniferous versus deciduous. Identifying some of the trees might be a little bit difficult. There's no leaves on it. But those are decidedly coniferous, being that they have cones. So walk with me now. Also, there's some buildings on campus which are being built with massive wood beams, which is different from a lot of the structures around here. For example, the library, built with a lot of concrete beams and posts, staircases made of concrete, all sorts of things like that. Now, they were built using wooden forms. So that's another good use of concrete form, or of wood, plywood particularly. And that's really interesting because you need the wood to make the concrete forms. Alright, so I'm going to go down to the bottom now. I'm going down to the construction site where they do all their trades, and as you can see, there's a lot of different materials here, from 2x6 and 2x4s. And lots of other cool things like sawhorses, and probably a lot of other different types of wood. They're building a platform over here. Here we've got truss systems and rafter systems and all sorts of good stuff. And here we got plywood. As you can see, this is 1/2 inch. And you can see it's got different layers. It's laminated, small, thin, about 1/8 inch layers of wood, and they take logs and they peel them on like a rotary machine, and that's how they get the nice little pattern. It's quite a tight, sort of close to the sapwood. So there you go, plywood. So I'm going to try and find somebody to talk to me about this. Okay, so we've been down to the construction, woodworking, trades and skills building. We talked with a couple of people. One student said to me, it has nothing to do with structure of the wood or anything, it's just that it's cheap. Well, cheap, and I think the skill level is to use wood is probably less than metal. However, we're not going to get into that. Wood as a structure is strong, lengthwise along the laterally. A cross cut is not going to give you a good strong base. But let's go look at some structures which are made of wood. And there we go. I didn't get a chance to talk to any profs. One guy actually walked away from me. So we'll go search out some of our own wood structures. There's a building on campus being built. Let's go talk to somebody let's go look at it. Okay, bye. The pine. A very good wood. And we see a date. 809 AD. This is the germination of the seed. Each one of these rings represents a year in growth. We look up here, 849, Alfred the Great born. So we're looking at a tree that spans much longer than a lot of our modern civilization. Go up. And there we go. We look at these lines, the outer bark, the inner bark, the cambium, that part there, sapwood, heartwood, which is right across. And then we look at here, the annual rings. So if we get there, very tight. That is like 1 millimeter wide. All the way to here, we follow it, and we can get like 1/8 of an inch. It's basically what that's showing. And we got a ring, a ring shake. And that is where the wood has naturally split, for whatever reason. Each line, each ring represents a year in growth. And when we look at the lines, we're looking at good years and bad years depending on how thick the line is. And then we get plywood. This is a plywood backing for a cabinet. And like I stated before, it is taking a tree and rolling it and shaving off the bark, or shaving off the layers of wood, generally about 1/8 of an inch thick. And here we see an oiled surface of, or a varathane surface of that, and you can see all the different types of lines within that. So let's go back to our wood, our big huge wood. So if you did this and you shaved 1/8 of an inch all the way off and all the way around till you get to the middle, that's what you would have right there. And what we were looking at down at the bottom. Why do we do this? Because trees don't necessarily come 4 feet wide all the time, and that doesn't make it, it wouldn't make it a very good flat surface. But as you can see in the detail right there, you can have different layers of wood, and this little layer right here, you can just see it. It's so tiny. The top is actually a veneer, a very thin, almost decorative. So you can have really bad looking wood, like that's not very attractive. Then you can have a clear piece with no knots on the top. That makes it good for constructing pieces of tables and things you're going to see. In general construction, say for roofing, that's perfectly acceptable, or for flooring.